Okay, so thank you for tuning in today, guys. My name is Alex Bexon, and I'm the Business Development Executive at Creo Software. Now, if you haven't heard of us, we are a company who were founded from personal experience of the disjointed and inefficient construction industry. And because of this, we wanted to do something about it. So we decided to develop a suite of software tools which use artificial intelligence and automation to really tackle these issues and increase the productivity within construction today. So specifically, I wanted to talk to you guys about our product, Creo Modular. And this is a tool to optimize your designs using standardized components for modular construction. And this is with speed, thanks to automation and artificial intelligence. So our customers, we help them to optimize their land use, shorten their time to market, reduce cost uncertainties throughout their project, and improve their profit margins. So we focus specifically on the feasibility stage, or I believe in the US, you guys call this the conception phase of your projects. And this presents different challenges which we try to solve. The first being that it's a lengthy time process. Project owners and developers have to go through rigorous checks and establish the criteria that they want to achieve. They have to take on architects to help them create a concept design. They have to bring in lots of different consultants, other stakeholders to analyze these. And it's just highly iterative, long feedback loop, which we're trying to address. So using automation, we're helping you create building feasibility studies in less than 20 minutes. Another aspect we're trying to address is the limitations due to time constraints. As I mentioned above, it's a lengthy process, so there's only a limited number of designs that you can consider given your project time constraint. So this means that the optimal scheme often isn't found. And again, this is a huge issue that we want to address. So we do this using generative design. And if you're unaware of what this is, it's where you set your own development criteria, and our intelligent engine is going to suggest hundreds of different design options for you in less than a minute, meaning that you can analyze more in a far smaller period of time. Naturally, with feasibility studies and conception studies, you may find that the project isn't feasible, so you abandon it, or you may actually be competing for business with somebody. So if you don't win the business or you abandon the project, these design costs and engineering costs are written off, and this is a problem. So we're attacking this by massively boosting the productivity of the professionals who are doing these studies, hoping that that brings down the cost per feasibility study as they're spending a shorter period of time, but a more focused period of time working on it. Quite a holistic issue with construction is the inability to change quickly their designs during this process. So each iteration takes longer and longer to do. So and this is going to be explained a bit more in the next slide, we have an approach where we design for manufacture and assembly using our software tool. And we help you then build a set of standardized units for your modular components. And then just the final issue which we're trying to address is collaboration within the construction industry. I'm sure lots of you guys are based in this industry, so you understand this, but everybody uses different software platforms. Everyone has different sources of information, different file types. So it's hard to collaborate between stakeholders and integrate that information. Our solution to this is having this one source of truth, being our platform, Creo Modular, which is a cloud-based platform which everybody on the project can access to see all of this information. So our philosophy is that until we as an industry begin to perceive buildings as a product rather than a project, automation is going to be ineffective. And hopefully the scheme here on the right-hand side shows you this. So this building, you can see it has actually been created from our standardized set of modules. If we didn't have that standardized set of modules, we wouldn't be able to automate this design process to generate a different building. And this is known as a platform approach to designing for manufacturing and assembly. And you see this approach in lots of different industries, like the automobile industry. And this is what we're enabling our customers to do within Creo Modular. Similarly, if you create an intelligent list of these standardized simplest components, they're essentially your Lego building blocks. These can connect in such a variety of different ways that with your standardized components, you can produce a variety of different products, being different building types. So our focus here is really getting you to start thinking about modern methods of construction in the design phase rather than in the construction phase. So we believe that modern methods of construction need modern methods of designing and appraising projects if we're going to create any change. And I'm going to show you a quick scheme here where the typical feasibility process, how that works without Creo and with Creo. And that's really where I think you will start to understand the value that we can bring. So if we imagine it, we're at the start of this process, we're a project owner. We have lots of different inputs and criteria which we want to base our project upon. So let's say we want to keep the development costs under £15 million. We know exactly our site coordinates, and we want to have an amenity space of greater than 1,000 meters squared. We have to give that information to our architect who goes through this process of designing. There's the feedback from all the different consultants and stakeholders. Again, there's this iterative process, emailing back and forth, which takes a long time. They're using Revit, architects will be using Revit, cost consultants will be using Excel, which are both manual, labor-intensive pieces of software. And by the end, when they get to the results that they need, it's taken 2 to 3 weeks. So here's how we envisage the process changing with Creo. We want the architects, consultants, and all stakeholders to be working together in real time on the platform. So they're collaborating there and then. Within Creo, they're using our Generative Design tool. So they've set their project criteria here on the left-hand side. They now have hundreds of different options that they can consider, as opposed to just the 1 or 2 with the previous process. And once they're happy with one, at the click of a button, that design has been automatically produced and the cost schedule linked to it. So they don't have to go through the manual process of building that design through Revit again. So that whole conception feasibility process has gone from 2 weeks to a single day. So this is obviously drastically quicker for your design process. There's a huge productivity boost and more efficient use of time for people who are involved in this process. If we were to change these criteria as we learn new things during our project, so let's say our budget has changed from 15 million to 13 million, all we have to do is change these criteria, and our generative design tool is going to quickly help us adapt to those changes. And most importantly, we're finding the optimal design during this process. I'm sure most of you are already in the construction industry, so I don't want to spend too long on this slide, but our target market is the global modular construction market. It's had a very high compound annual growth rate of 6.5%, which makes it the fastest growing in the construction industry. It's something we believe has bags of potential. We focus specifically on the global modular construction market for high-rise buildings, and the value-added service actually helps people from outside of the sphere who may want to consider modular actually get involved in this process. This slide just hopefully shows the passion and excitement that we've had with this idea. We've taken it from just a simple concept in August to a fully fledged product this April. And in the space of 2 months, we managed to get 118 users, many of which are real forward thinkers in the construction industry. And they're the companies that you can see on the right-hand side. Not least CAS Consultancy, who many of you may be aware of. You may have heard of their CEO, Mark Farmer, who's a huge player in advocating MMC here in the UK. He was even appointed as champion of MMC by our government. He was the author of Modernise or Die, which was a review of the UK construction industry. And you can see his excitement in this quote about our product. You can see here we have quite a strong team with a breadth of different knowledge and experience. We have subject matter experts who help us understand the industry. We have lots of different developers who help us deliver what we need. We have strong business leaders. And it's this team that's really helped us to grow very quickly in a short period of time. So that's everything. If you want to get in touch, I've left my contact details here. And I'd strongly encourage anybody who's looking to get into modular construction or wanting to use designing for manufacturing assembly to try our product for free yourselves at modular.creo.net. And we'll be in the virtual huddle room answering any questions. So thank you very much, guys.